How's it going, everybody? Savvier saying, what is good to all my Super Saiyan homies, here to bring you all sorts of anime, Dragon Ball, and gaming content. If you enjoy the video, please consider hitting that thumbs up, subscribing, and turning on notifications so you don't miss out on any future content. With that being said, today we're going to do an equipment guide for the EX Captain Ginyu that was newly Zenkai awakened. That being said, before we start, I do want to say a huge thank you for us getting to 1K subs. That's insane. It's halfway to the partner program. We got to get those watch hours to 4,000, but regardless, that's such a huge milestone. I can't even put into words how appreciative I am. I literally all I can do is stumble and choke over my words. I'm so grateful. I'm so humbled. You guys are truly amazing, and the support it just keeps me going further every single day. I just love looking in the studio app and seeing all the different comments and whatnot. It's just, you guys really make getting up in the morning just that much more enjoyable. So with that being said, let's hop into it. Don't want to waste too much time saying thank you. And we will get some fantastic equips and where to find them for Captain Ginyu. So the first equip we have is the Gwaaaaagh equip, which has the little second form Frieza on it. This one right here is an absolute powerhouse for all Extreme Frieza Force characters. So this is not only going to be good for him, it's going to be good for the new free-to-play. I guess we'll call them the Apool squad, the minions of the Frieza Force. So it'll be good for all of them as well. And the signs are kind of pointing towards that we'll probably seeing a Zenkai Awakening for the whole Ginyu Force, like the whole EX Ginyu Force will get a Zenkai Awakening. So when they do, this will be a good equip for all of them as well. Currently, you can only get this with Z medals. So when you go to the exchange shop, you know the Z medals that you get from when you 14-star a character, and you pull them again on a banner. So that is currently the only way to farm up this equip, and it is kind of a nightmare to get a Z on. I was fortunate enough to get one copy to Z, but every other copy that I have is S with like 2 gold slots and like a very good green slot. It's rather obnoxious to try and get this boy to a Z, but very much so it's still worth it at S, because you're getting strike defense and then a pure strike damage inflicted, not base strike attack, not pure strike attack, strike damage inflicted, and then blast damage inflicted per Frieza Force battle member. So obviously you're going to be running this guy in a Frieza Force team, as well as for all the other characters that we mentioned. This is going to be the absolute god tier equip for every single one of them, and I highly recommend you farm up at least a few S copies if you can. Next bad boy we're going to look at is Consider This an Honor, and we're specifically looking at the Awakened version. What's neat about the Awakened version is you're getting a strike attack and then strike defense on the first 2 guaranteed, and then you're getting a guaranteed crit on the 3rd slot. But what's really nice about this is you're either getting strike attack or strike defense as like a little extra bump. So I would say that he does have pretty equal offenses. He does have pretty equal stats regardless, so it doesn't really matter what that second roll ends up being. But you know, having a nice little like buff to his strike side of things, you know, you get him an equip that works really well for his strike defense or strike attack. I think this is really valuable to have, just because whatever you're going to end up getting for that 3rd roll, for that 15 extra %, you could be getting upwards of 30% to whichever slot it ends up, or whichever stat it ends up being. So strike attack or strike defense. Now as to where to find it, let's hop over to the game real quick. For this one, you're going to want to go to the EX Frieza Zenkai event, and while you're there, you'll be able to find this mission right here. It's going to be Chapter 2. You're going to be facing off against 2 grunts, and then you've got, whatchamacallit, you got the second form Frieza right here. Oh wait, no. Shoot. I think I said second form Frieza was on the Gwaaaaagh equip. It's 3rd form Frieza on the equip. I don't know why I just realized that, but I just did. But yeah, anywho, it's Chapter 2, you go over there, and as you guys can see, you get the Unawakened version, and then from there, you would obviously use your Ultra Space Time Rush medals to get the Awakenings for it. Next up, we have the Awakened Thought I'd Let You Get Away. Now, this bad boy is pretty wild, because once again, his offensive stats are pretty balanced. So having both... Ooh, didn't mean to slide up like that. Don't know what happened with my thumb there, sorry. But having both offenses on that first slot is a very powerful thing. Then having Ki Recovery and Blast Defense, and then having the extra damage inflicted towards Saiyans. I know that it's not necessarily the best thing to sacrifice a slot to, like, a certain tag, but I would say if it's Saiyans or hybrids, they're 2 of the most commonly seen tags in the game. They're going to be showing up on a lot of other tags as well. Like you'll see them on Sun Family, Vegeta Family, etc., Future, Universal Survival, God Key. You'll see them somewhere. So I definitely think Saiyans is one of those valuable enough tags that it's worth it. Now as for the game, let's hop over to that real quick, just to show you where you can get the unawakened version, and then you use your rush medals, of course. So once again, we're going to look at the EX Zenkai Frieza event, and we're going to go to Chapter 5 this time. You'll see yourself a little, two little grunts, and then the final form Frieza. I keep saying grunts because, like, I know that they're like a pool and raspberry clones, but, like, you know, whatever they are, I don't really feel like going into the details of it. But yeah, there it is, Chapter 5, and those are the 3 characters that you'll face. So yeah, this will be the one to go to. One of the more necessary equips for the extreme units would be these unique equips for the specific color and then extreme units. For the purple extremes, we have Now It's Your Turn. And this one right here, you can farm up. You gotta use your equipment medals from PvP or, you know, from your mission plan. Wherever you end up farming them up, there's a couple of different places for it. So yeah, you can spend those on this bad boy right here. And I definitely think it's worth it because, once again, there is an incarnation of one of these for every single color for all the extremes. And I believe if you look in the exchange shop, they're all on top of each other. So you don't have to go like crazy looking for each one. They're all like nearby. And yeah, you're getting 25% to their offenses, defenses, and then 12% to health. So that being said, let's move on to the next one. Next up, we have the Awakened Release Your Ki. Now this one's pretty easy to come by for him because you can farm this bad boy up in his event, like in his and Krillin's Zenkai Awakening event, and it shows up a bunch. Like the mission just beforehand gives you the Awakenings, and you can get the regular equip itself. So it's not like, you know, you have to spend your rush medals on this, and I'll hop over to the game to show you that real quick in a second. But what's really great about this is you're getting health regardless, and then strike attack or strike defense, blast attack or blast defense. His stats are so balanced as a support unit, it doesn't really matter what stats you end up rolling for this guy. 30% to whichever stat you roll for either of these slots is a fantastic roll. Whether you get strike attack and blast defense, strike attack and blast attack, double defenses, doesn't matter. It's going to be a good equip for him regardless, just again because of how balanced out his stats are. So as for the unawakened version, which you'll need to farm up first, obviously, this is on the first mission for every single difficulty. So it's on the first one for hard, first one for normal, first one for scream. You can see it right there. I can't zoom in. Oh yeah, I can zoom in a little more. But you can see it right there in the little slot. And then the Awakenings are chock full easy to come by. You got 1, 2, 3 missions on scream, the last 3. And then you got 1, 2, 3 on hard. And then there's just 1. Oh wait, no, there's not. So it's just the 3 on hard and the 3 on scream. So you got 6 for that. You got 3 for the Unawakens. It's a very easy equip to farm up. Easy might not be the right term because Awakened equips are always a bit of a bitch to roll, but fairly easy to come by Awakenings as opposed to having to wait every 2 weeks and sacrifice your medals that you could be spending on Zenkai Souls or something else. So next up, we have the Awakened Ginyu Force equip. This one right here is pretty solid, I would say. It's mainly offensively based, but the thing that does it for me with this one is it's Strike and Blast for base on the first 2 slots, but then you have a pure buff to both Strike and Blast per Frieza Force battle member, up to 6%. So once again, you're going to be getting, because you're pretty much only going to be running this guy on a Frieza Force team. Like, there's no other tag that you'd really be running this guy on, honestly. I mean, maybe if you wanted to run him on Namek Saga, but it's like, why? When Krillin exists, he's just going to be a better fit. But with that being said, you know, you're going to be getting 18% purely to both offenses, and that's pretty solid right there. Now for the Awakenings you're still going to have to get via Ultra Space Time Rush medals, but in terms of the equip itself, we'll hop over to the game real quick, because this one you can also get in the Ginyu event, or the Ginyu Krillin event. So as you guys can see, the Unawakened version of this is available for the last 3 of the normal difficulty, so it is available for all 3 EX normal difficulties on the dreaded Ginyu Force Awakening for him and Krillin. So easy enough to come by, you just gotta wait for the medals, that's all. We've got the current PvP equip, which is the Medical Machine, and this one's kind of interesting because it's one of those ones that I would just kind of suggest, because again, it doesn't really necessarily matter what you end up rolling on here. It'll be a good roll for him, you know, because whichever defense you end up rolling is fine. The health is great. Whichever offense you end up rolling is fine. And it's just kind of like one of those things of like, sure, might as well. You know, you're not like necessarily relying on this guy to do a ton of blue card damage or anything like that, but like, you know, just kind of like balanced out stats. It's nice to, you know, whichever one you roll, it doesn't really matter. It's kind of carefree, I guess. So that's why I recommend this one. And again, it's in PvP right now, so you'll hopefully be getting a good bunch of them while you play. Last but not least, we're looking at the Haraha equip, which is really just to make him a bit more of a tanky boy. We got strike defense, blast defense, you know. And the strike defense is really looking healthy at 20%, 15% to blast defense, and then to base health, we've got an extra 10%. Nothing to sneeze at right here. Again, really just trying to make him a bit more of a tanky boy. And that's that. For where you're going to find it in the game, it's once again going to be the EX Blue Frieza event. And I'll hop over real quick just to show you specifically which mission it is. So it is going to be Chapter 1. You're going to see a couple of the pool clones, and then the Pod Frieza, the EX Pod Frieza. And yeah, that's that. It's the event right there. You can see this little bad boy. And with that being said, I hope y'all found this video helpful, and I hope y'all found this kind of new format to be helpful as well. I kind of realized that like I was just kind of like saying where to find the equips and not actually showing where to find the equips, so I'm hoping that this is just like slightly more helpful. If you guys thought that this was a bit more of a waste of time, let me know down in the comments. Once again, thank you for 1,000 subs. It means the absolute world, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace out.